Hello everyone. This is a demonstration of how to create the draft for the Protoboard spacer that we have created before. As a reminder, the Protoboard spacer is the part that we have done in tutorial number 1. This is the part, and we are going to create together the draft that is relevant to this part to make sure that we are capable of redesigning that part if need be. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to click File, New, and we're going to select a drawing, clicking OK. As we have discussed before, you can select which is standard and sheet style. We're going to maintain the A3 ISO standard. We can click Windows and tile vertically or horizontally, whatever you think is the most suitable. And I'm going to make sure that the part is like this on the side and to maximize a little bit the view from here. And we are going to go ahead and get started. We can also, if we want, we can click on the document properties and look into different elements if we want to change the drawing name, if we want to look at the standards that are being used and so on. This is something that can be very important. And also some other elements, we can click on File Page Setup and we can click Insert Background View to integrate the CAD drawing from the start, like the sheet layout. So for some reason it didn't take it. I'm going to make sure that it will take it. I'm gonna browse and make sure we select it. Okay, I can see it in here. Click Insert and okay, and now we have it. So we can actually go back into the view, actually the edit sheet background, and double click in here and name it as we had it before, T01 exercise 02, and we can actually so what I did is I pressed Shift Enter at the same time and we can click Protoboard spacer. Alright, this is good. Now we can add some element. This is design tutorial T01. We can go ahead and say this is designed by, so make sure you double click Ron Herrick, and the date is 5, I really don't know what's the date, 2020, and this is checked by so on, and you can continue all of this. In here, this is relevant to what's written in here is the weight. We can actually change that and zoom into that part and actually changes to units and say that we're gonna have this in millimeters. That can be really useful. Of course, the scale is relevant to what is the scale that we're using. So at this stage, let's go ahead and go back to the working views and let's go back and tile vertically and move the part a little bit to the side and start trying to create the different views and whatnot, just to make sure that we have all the dimension that is needed. I'm gonna click F3. Look what happens. So I clicked in here and F3. This removes the design tree. So go ahead, try it. Press F3 and remove it. This removes it, and like this, it helps you. Like to see more clearly the part. I'm gonna click back in here. We are going to create different views that are needed. Let's go ahead and start with a front view. I'm gonna select this plane, and it does look like it's a little bit big, so we might as well change the scale and make it half. So I'm gonna click in here and move this here, and the scale is actually not very wise to have such a big scale. So we can go to properties and change the scale to 1/2 like this. It's a half, and this is good. So if you do that, we want to make sure that we update the scale so that we don't forget. We go to edit, sheet background, and we're going to select here, double click, and change this one to 1/2 like this. We don't forget, and we go back to the working views. So we're going to put this one here. Now let's go ahead and try to create perhaps a different view, a left view, a top view, a different element. So you have different options. We can try to select like a projection view, and you can see what's happening in here. So if you go to this side, if you go up, so if I go up, this is gonna be the top view, this is gonna be the bottom view, this is gonna be the left view, and this is gonna be the right view. So we can go ahead and select the left view. We can select this again and go ahead and click a bottom view so that we can see. We don't really need a top view. There's plenty of dimensions to be added in here. And what would be finally interesting is to add an isometric view of the part. And so we click on isometric view, and well, actually I need back my F3. So click isometric view and we select this here. So I need it back to select the part itself, and once again the dimension is not correct, so I can very easily change that with the properties and select the scale of 1/2 or whatever is needed. So I'm gonna come back here and I'm going to put the isometric view at this location. We're going to maximize the screen. Now is the time to actually start putting some of the dimensions that we need. So I can drag this here so that I can get it closer to me, and we can click shift while moving it. This would move the mouse and would make the dimensioning this way. So let's go ahead and start putting the different dimensions. We can put the dimension that we have for, um, let's see here. So we have the radius here. So we can right click and change and say we want it as a radius. And I want to hide this. I don't want to show it. And I want to hide this axis. Alright, we don't really need these axes. So I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna put a dimension here of 15 millimeters. And so a very useful tip is a double click. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of dimensions. I don't want to be clicking every time, so I'm gonna double click. So this will leave it active, and I'm going to start creating a dimension after dimension. So if you want to create an angle, it suffices to click on the first one, then click on the second one. And like this, we are creating the different dimensions that we have. And these dimensions will enable us to, will enable anyone to recreate the drawing. And this is the importance of drafting. So creating enough dimensions so that you can actually create some elements that are of importance to describe the design. So you can click escape if you want to change something. We're going to put some of the dimensions in here. We are going to put this dimension in here, and we're going to click the dimension all the way from the top to bottom and put it on the side. We're going to click the dimension between this point and this point and put it on this side. It does not look like this is the dimension that was created in the part, so it looks like they used this one. So I'm gonna escape this one so that we keep things very similar. So this is the 50 in here, and from here to here we have like a 130. Of course, you can also add dimensions on the view in here. So let's say you wanted to show this part, how much it is, you can actually create and click a dimension in here, and you can add it on the 3D view. Let's see, what else do we have? We have the radiuses. So we have the radiuses that are equal to 15. This radius is equal to 15. I'm gonna go ahead and, to have fun, put it in here. And then finally one dimension that says that the center point to this one is 40. So this gives us all the dimension needed, and this is more than sufficient to, you can click File, Save As, and save it wherever you want. Of course, you have capital DFT, RH, so this is for draft, Rami Herrick, exercise demonstration, so I'm just going to put demonstration V01. We have to maintain the naming terminology the right way. Also, you can actually do like some save as, and you can try to see the different options. One of them is PDF, and this creates for you a PDF that I'm going to go ahead and open and drag to the other side. So this is what we just created a few seconds ago, and this was all the dimension and also some of the 3D dimension that we have just demonstrated. All right, so this is the bulk of what you need to do at this moment. However, I want to demonstrate something else, which is um, the following. I'm going to go ahead and close this and go ahead and close this. There is another way to create the drafts. There is another way that is a little bit faster in case you have everything. So in case like you have all the geometry and everything created and all the dimensions, you can actually save some time by going to your drafting, and instead of leaving it as it is, which is in the empty one, you can actually select this one or any of the others to automatically create a layout from the part that is open. So right now, if I go ahead and click OK, this is what's going to happen. Automatically, all the views that I pre-selected, so I'm going to go ahead and do it one more time, and just to demonstrate. So if you click part design, drafting, and then if you select one of the layouts, so I selected this one. To re-demonstrate it, we're going to select this one, which shows you the top, front, and left views, and you can actually click, you can modify to change if you want like a different scale or different standard or so on, and you click OK, and it will automatically create for you the view that you wanted, which had the front, the top, and the left view. Of course, sometimes you want to start realigning, but it won't let you to realign, but like through what is logical to be realigned. So everything is connected to this front view, which means this one will only move left and right. So this is what's going to happen. This one will only go up and down. Of course, you want to modify the scales, you want to modify the dimensions, but this is just to illustrate another method to automatically create a drawing. Thank you very much for listening to me.